Hey, it's Vaughn. Welcome back to Spin the Rock. If you want to listen to us in any podcast format, we're on all podcast platforms. If you need to keep up with us, search us up on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome back to the Spin the Rock podcast. I'm your host Angel, and with me today is
Eugene.
Vaughn.
all right. We took a little break for the regular season, but we are back. We have the city jersey tier list for y'all today. But before we get into that, we actually have some news, and then also just want to talk about the in-season tournament. So first, of course, we didn't cover the Harden to the Clippers. What do you guys think about that? Are you excited? Are you worried?
Well, my initial thought when I saw the Woj bomb come in at midnight, I was like, "What NBA execs are up this late talking about a trade right now?" So I was kind of surprised that they kind of worked it out that late. Um, but in terms of how it's gonna work for the Clippers, I sincerely hope it works. Will it work? I don't know. That's four-ish, give or take, ball dominant players in the starting five. And I guess assuming I haven't watched any Clippers games yet, but assuming they don't start Terrence Mann, or if they start him at point guard, that's almost five ball dominant players. So it's going to be kind of hectic, but we'll see what Ty Lue cooks up.
I think they announced for Monday because that's when Harden is going to be debuting, which I guess if this release, it'll be today. But it's going to be Westbrook, Harden, Paul George, Kawhi, and Zubac as the starting five. But I personally don't think that's going to last long. I think they're going to bring Westbrook off the bench, which is a shame because Westbrook has looked so good for the Clippers so far this season. I mean, the Clippers as a whole, I know they've lost a couple of games, but they've either been close games, close competitive games, or they've been winning games. So I thought they looked good pre-Harden trade, but I guess if they're giving up pieces they don't really use, like Marcus Morris, a distant first rounder, and whatever else it was. I mean, they also got PJ Tucker out of the deal, so it's not like they're short on defenders at this point. But I just feel like this hurts them in a way.
Mhm.
Just like Eugene said, another ball handler. And like we've seen Westbrook and Harden play together on the Rockets, and it didn't work because they're both kind of fighting for ball control. And now they're both not as good as that time, I would say, at least just due to age. I mean, people will be saying for a reason this team would go crazy in 2018, but 2023, it's a little different.
I think the only pro to that, like I guess for them not being as good, um, they know their role more. Like I know James Harden said, "I'm not part of a system. I am a system," which is true, But I feel like at least on the while he was on the Sixers, he knew and played his role well. So I feel like as long as he plays his role well, things could go well. Because we all know Kawhi's main option, PG's probably going to be second option, and then between Russ and James is a toss up for third option. But I mean, this goes for any team, but them specifically having four superstars, knowing your role and playing that well is going to go far.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like this, in a way, this could end up turning to be a good thing. Like the Boston Big Three, they were old when they first got together. They were all like 30 or over. So, I mean, this could be a similar situation or it could just like crumble and fall apart. Because James Harden's contract is only for this year. Are they going to give him a fat contract like he probably wants? Because that was the big dispute with him and Daryl Morey. Or is he not going to like their offer and then walk in the end? give up on another team.
Yeah, I'm actually way more negative than you guys. I think this is gonna ruin the fuck out of the Clippers. I I have been a big advocate for like Sixers Harden. Like back when like that was a dispute, like people were saying like he needs to go back to Rockets Harden. I was like some of the few that was like no, Sixers Harden is better. And like there's been so many like there's been a trend lately of him wanting to be Rockets Harden, like Harden himself wanting to go back to Rockets Harden, and then like this I'm a system thing just did not put out that like speculation. I just think like he's gonna ruin the Clippers because he's gonna try to be what he was, and I feel like Harden, that's not what the Clippers need. They don't need someone to drop 50 like by themselves. Like they're all like Kawhi and PG can score, and like Russ is already like so far taking the back seat and being the pass first point guard.
Mhm.
And that's been showing because like Paul George is having a like one of his best seasons in a long time. And so with Harden joining, I'm just kind of like I just feels like a wrench in the system.
Yeah,
I also,
it could easily go as good as well as it could go bad.
yeah. So I don't know. It just depends. We'll have to see. I'm low-key more excited about that they have PJ Tucker than that they have Harden. Because PJ Tucker is a locker room guy, and I feel like that's what the Clippers need. I feel like they need that like guy who's not afraid to tell them that they're playing awful.
Hey, I might call me a Harden jersey though. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
A Harden Clippers jersey will go hard.
You know what I'm
It's like-
saying? Like,
It's like that
we don't know how
Kyrie
long he's
Nets
gonna
jersey.
be here.
The Kyrie Nets jersey, like the Irving on that Nets jersey was, I don't know, something about it
Exactly.
looked clean. I do want to ask you guys this though. Do you think Tyrese Maxey doing so well is the reason why they didn't wait until deadline to trade him? Or do you think that didn't really play a factor?
No, like most definitely. Like the Sixers are 2 in the East. I know it's super early right now, but
Yeah.
like it's not like they've been a disaster as
Yeah.
of yet. And large part of that is because Tyrese Maxey is playing so good.
I have no thoughts on it. He's been balling though. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because I haven't watched any Sixers yet either. I wouldn't know if that necessarily played a factor or not.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of with Vaughn. I think if it wasn't for the fact that like Tyrese Maxey was doing so well, I think it wouldn't have happened so early. Like it kind of happened with a quickness. And yeah, so moving on. In-season tournament has started. The courts are bright. Let's just get your opinions on the courts and on your opinions on the basketball we're seeing. Are you what's the word I'm looking for? Are you buying into the in-season tournament? Are you still a skeptic? Or are you a hater?
I mean, I like it. I like the idea of it. Are they doing a little too much? Maybe a little bit, but again, it's the inaugural season, so they're just like testing things out. I do like the whole concept of it, especially intertwining it with the regular season and not like adding, games or whatever. I don't know, these courts though. These courts are not fun to look at.
Yeah, they're kind of crazy with the color combos, but at the same time, it's like that's how I know I'm watching an in-season tournament game versus a non-tournament game because they're both happening at the same time right now, which I didn't know was going to be the deal. I thought from here on out for this month it was all in-season tournament games, which it isn't. So at least that is a visual indicator. No matter how pretty or ugly these courts are, I know I get the in-season tournament vibe from these games.
Yeah. I'm kind of as a soccer fan, I'm kind of like I'm all in. I was watching the Nuggets Mavs one, and like that, it could be because Denver fans are always turned, but like I've watched other games and it seems like fans are like enjoying the basketball a lot more. They're not like as boring or no one's playing them as people thought. Like a lot of people are like, oh, no one's gonna play in this. We had Jamal Murray like in as normal as usual. Like
Mhm.
Luka Doncic was in it, even though he didn't do great. He was in almost the entire game against the Nuggets. So I think I'm all in. It is the inaugural season, which means a lot of people are like they should add this so the winners can get this. Like I seen people say like winners should get an automatic play-in bid. That's crazy. That's insane. So what if you're 10 seed and you're way better than the in-season winner, you're screwed? Or like, like Boston right now is undefeated. If Boston wins, like no way they're missing the playoffs. Like
Right.
so like it's not really beneficial to them, the automatic play-in bid. So it's just funny to see people try to think of ways to make it important. It's not going to be important because it's the first year.
Mhm.
Like, of course, it doesn't seem as important because it's the first year. Like, wait until year 10. And, like, I'm pretty sure by year 10, like, who knows? It might be like, oh, I'm hyped for the in season tournament this year. You know?
Right.
Who knows how different or how much it could change.
Yeah. And I feel like too, like even just with people I've been talking to, I think a lot of people are looking at it at like face value and just like it doesn't add anything. But in my opinion, I feel like it does. Like I feel like it helps teams not to tank as hard
Yeah.
and early in the season. Like it gives them an initiative to play harder, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or at least to play in these games. But obviously everyone wants that Larry O'Brien. But definitely give it like I feel like a few more years, teams will start taking it like super, super serious.
I mean, look at the play-ins. When the play-ins first showed up, we clowned the play-ins. And now play games are lit, like playing games are important and like playing games are like so fun to watch. And like we've had two teams last year go all the way to the conference finals from the play-ins. We had a play-in team make it to the finals.
Right.
So it's like give it some time and I feel like it'll really like I feel like they're gonna add additions to it. Like they're gonna switch it up. Like this is the first year, so if anything, it's gonna get better.
Hopefully,
I would hope that they get a stronger reward or incentive to play because right now it feels like the young teams are trying to prove themselves in the tournament, and the good teams are just trying to stay good and bring consistency for a whole year.
Yeah,
And like the tournament side of things is kind of like to the side because at this point 500K is nothing to a lot of these players,
true.
So like at the same time, if you win the tournament, it's never going to be as good as that Larry O'Brien trophy. Like, in-season tournament winner versus champion,
right.
I think they got to find something to strengthen what you win in the end.
Yeah, that would be dope. Also, make it interconference. Like,
yeah,
That would probably be better.
Yeah, like I kind of hate that it's still East versus West because like, how dope would it be if we got like Nuggets Suns in like the final of the in-season tournament or like Celtics Bucks in the final of it. Like I just feel like you can get really cool finals out of interconference instead of East and West again. But I don't know. Do you guys have any more additions, or do you want to move on to this tier list? Oh, real quick, East and West All-Star game is apparently coming back.
Oh yeah, so he made that. So I watched that game because he was at the Pacers game. He announced it when he was who'd they go against? It was like their first or second game of the season. But I remember I was watching it, and at the press conference he announced that. I was so lit, bruh. I was like, let's go. But now we just gotta wait for these jerseys. We gotta see if they're lit or not. But it should be good though. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Where is it? What city is it being held in? Do you know?
Indiana, yeah.
Indiana.
that makes
Mm.
sense. That makes sense why you announced it there. Yeah. So you're okay. So I don't have to ask you if you're on board. How about you, Vaughn? Are you on board for it, or do you think like where do you think of that?
Yeah, the other format was getting kind of stale, and like it worked for that first year and kind of the second year, but it's kind of shifted back to the way of old. Plus, now your East and West All Stars like are pretty even when it comes to talent at this point.
Mhm.
It's not like West heavy anymore, but like yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think my interest in the All Star game is kind of just diminished over time, so I'm not like going crazy over this news, but I just like to return to form.
Yeah.
He also just one more thing. He also did bring up it's just gonna be like a traditional regular game. Like no target score. I'm sure they'll probably still give to charity or whatever.
Mhm.
But just a regular basketball game as well. So we don't have to
That's
worry
good.
about any of that extra other stuff.
That's good. And see, that's what I was gonna say. I was like the reason why it's not competitive is because it's like it was like almost like who can score the highest.
Right.
So I never had a problem with the captain thing, but like I think that change is what's gonna make it more competitive again.
Mm.
Like I think that's definitely gonna add a little sauce to it. Yeah, I'm all for East and West. I think the captainship was kind of cool, but like once you got to the point where like um the captains kind of stopped caring. Like last year, like Giannis, like and LeBron were basically just like not caring. Jokic like getting picked last, like was a whole idea, like ordeal. Like I just think now it's just gonna go back to like what made the All Star game so fun. It was just like players just playing against each other.
Right.
All right, moving on. We are ranking the 23-24 city jerseys. Um, basically, if you don't, our tiers are sold out, A, B, C, D, and bargain bin. Um, if you haven't watched our tier list before, basically the person will put the initial vote. Let's say I think Blazers are a B. The other two can either vote it down or vote it up one. And that's basically it. Just real quick, what did you guys think of this? Because we gotta address it. What do you guys think of this in city uniforms this year?
I can answer that pretty easily. I think this is the worst wave yet. I don't have a sold out jersey on this list, not one. And I'm pretty sore about it, to be honest. A lot of these they didn't even try. So
I'm
I'm gonna be hard.
I'm a little better about them, but most of them are not good whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm kind of on Bond train. I'm going as far as I only have one in A, bro. I don't even have multiple A's. I just think 7 years in a row of this, like I'm not surprised really to do this 7 years straight is like they're gonna get worse and worse. I think what they messed up is the NBA is kind of pushing it as like the in-season jerseys, like home team will always wear the city jerseys for the in-season tournament. And I think if they label them just in-season tournament jerseys, people would like them far more. But because they label them city jerseys and how good the city jersey started off as, that's why they're getting so much more hate. I
Right.
just
Like the alternate jerseys are supposed to be the best looking, and they're
yeah.
not.
Yeah, so if they labeled them in-season tournament jerseys, I would probably have multiple sold outs. But because they're labeled them city jerseys, I'm a hater. I'm a big hater. And I don't know if it's because I have like a hockey jersey collection, so now I'm a fan of design. But like, I don't know, bro. I just think this is the first time where everyone hates them. They're not saying something. If
Right.
NBA fans collectively are agreeing on something, that should be a sign.
That's a sign. That's a bad sign. Like
Yeah. All right. Why don't you kick us off, Eugene, with the Blazers?
All right. I mean, I just think it's kind of basic. It looks kind of like all their other jerseys. I'll put it in B, but if y'all say C, I'm not gonna argue.
Yeah, I personally would put it in C just because it is a simplistic design, but it's not a bad one, as we'll get into later. Like it's simple, it's Rip City, that's their thing. They got that across.
I would personally, so I'm also saying C, but I would personally put it B if the plaid on the side was red. Like I don't know why only the plaid on the shoulders are red. Like if they embrace that red plaid a lot more, I would say this is a strong B. But like I don't know, they went too simple.
That's probably the running theme is a lot of these jerseys don't do enough, you know.
Yeah, like they could a lot of these jerseys could be better if they just it kind of seems like they just did the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Vaughn, you have Milwaukee.
This one's tough because I like the blue, and it's just the green that's there messing me up. I don't understand the significance of the green. The green and blue to Milwaukee. Although I do like that green, I kind of wish they'd just do purple like their throwback ones. The one with the deer, if they had just done purple. I don't get where this one is, so I'm going to put it in D.
Damn.
I'm also gonna say C. When I was watching them play the Knicks on their court as well, they didn't look bad. The court's not great, but the jerseys looked pretty good. So I'm gonna say C. I think it's fine. It does also kind of look like their. Don't remember their Cream City jerseys?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that, like another one, like another version. But yeah, it doesn't really do anything for me. I'm gonna say C though.
I'm also gonna say C because it's not showing on the picture, but they also kind of have like a kind of like a water pattern. Like it kind of looks like water droplets on the uniform. And I kind of like that pattern. Also, Vaughn, the green signifies victory.
No, the hell it does not. What is that?
That's what the green signifies. Yeah, I once again we did this last year and I had a bunch of notes on the jersey, so I have that again. But yeah, the green signifies victory. Yeah, the blue, I like the blue. It's supposed to be like a Great Lakes blue. I just think it's like the Rip City thing. It's like an okay jersey. I have the Bulls. I'm gonna have to say D. Unlike the other ones where they're like simple, but like it's not a bad simple, this one is a bad simple. It's just a black jersey with Chicago like going down the side. They don't like the red is like the only interesting thing about it. Like I'm just not a fan.
Well, considering that these are NBA city jerseys, these are supposed to represent your city as a whole, some ties to it. This is a bargain bin. What about this says Chicago? What universe would you buy this jersey over a classic Chicago red or white jersey, you know? There's no way you're buying this one with the number 23 on it. It's just such a letdown. I don't get what all that empty space is for. I don't know why Chicago's lettering is going down. There's just not enough here to be interesting for me.
All right. Pretty convincing argument Vaughn put there. I originally off the top, I was gonna say D, but yeah, it's supposed to signify the city, so I'm gonna have to say bargain bin.
All right.
I feel like if they just put like a simple outline of like the skyline or something, you know, that would have been pretty cool. But Yeah, it's way too basic. That
Yeah,
could just be a regular jersey if they really wanted it to be.
yeah, it is. I don't disagree with you guys. It is it's pretty basic. I mean, yeah, that looks like an away jersey almost. It just looks like a normal like away jersey. All right, Eugene, you have Cleveland.
All right, so I actually really like these jerseys. Me personally, I would buy one. It is basic, but I like the font and like the way the layout of the jersey is. So I'm gonna have to say this is a B.
Okay. I know Cleveland fans were a little disappointed, and it's unveiling. They had it hidden on stage, like behind a curtain, and when they pulled it off, the crowd went mild. There were some people booing, yelling, "This sucks." But I'm not a Cleveland fan, and I probably have to agree with B. Although last year's was way better with the white and the gold and all that, this is a pretty inoffensive design. It's trying to like convey the land, and that's like their big thing. I have no problem with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I mean, this would almost be an A if it wasn't a city jersey. Like if it wasn't a city jersey, this would probably be an A, but because it is, it's like it kind of falls short. But like, yeah, I agree with you guys. It's like it's a good jersey. It's a solid jersey. Like the pattern on the shoulder and the collar, like I like that. I like kind of like the the font of the land and the number. Like it kind of clicks a lot. But again, it's just like it's a good jersey. It's not a great jersey. All right, Bon, you have Boston.
I hate that I got Boston this year because this year's jerseys, like, all right, think of the Milwaukee Cream City jerseys, that off white, perfect off white. Now we got sweat stain off white for Boston. We got wood trim and green trim at the same time. I don't get it. The wood trim, I guess, is supposed to be the floor of the Celtics arena. No, famously they have like a parquet wood floor where it's just not that wood. This is a D tier.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say bargain bin. Not even like Laker bias, but like it looks like every other jersey they've came up with since Nike's done these jerseys. I don't know. It's just not a city jersey.
I went into this thinking I was gonna say bargain bin, but like I feel like putting it next to Chicago was a disservice. I thought Chicago is so much worse than that. Like at least they tried something.
It's the same jersey, bruh.
No, they got that wooden trim, and it's like at least at least it's not like just plain white. At least they tried to do like an off white. It's not the best off white color. I agree with D. It's just I feel like Boston's scared to do stuff. Like
That's what it seems like. That's really what it seems like.
because they could have gone a full wood trim instead, but like just the side and also doing the green, it's like they're scared to switch it up, and it's like, why? Your fans probably want to buy a different jersey for once.
Right.
Like they're buying the same jersey every year. Like let them spend their money in a different way. All right, I got the Clippers or the Clips, bro. I'm saying bargain bin, bro. Clips? Are you kidding me? I hate it. It's like another one of those things where it's just like, where is the connection to your city? Like, the only way I can tell that this is a Clippers jersey is because there's a basketball for the dot of the I. Like, it's just not a city jersey. It just looks like another like plain alternate. Like, it doesn't remind me of LA at all.
Bro, you want to know what it looks like, bro? It looks like Bullets uniform or like a old Washington Wizards uniform.
Oh, true.
That's what it looks like to me. I do like the shorts though. The shorts are cool. I would buy the shorts, not a jersey.
That's saying something, bro. That's saying something.
I will agree with you on that. I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, like also their jersey, not their jersey, their court. You know, all the in-season tournament courts I think have a trophy on them, and something about seeing clips over a trophy just does not sit well with me. I agree, bargain bin.
I think that's just the fact that the Clippers will never have a trophy.
Even though that was your prediction.
Even though that was my prediction, yeah. But then they made that Harden trade. All right. Yeah, we're flying through these jerseys because of how much we don't like them. Eugene, you have Memphis.
I don't know. Because, like, I see what they tried to do there, but it looks like a barcode, you know? Like, I feel like if you're, like, describing it, it would sound cool in concept. And then they did it, right? And then they're like, oh, that's cool. It's not really. I'm gonna say D. I don't think it's quite bargain bin, but I'm gonna say D.
I 100% agree. Like, you took everything I said. I'm fully on board with D.
See, oh man, this is the one time where I'm like, I think it's like a B or a C, because because it's supposed to be like the Egyptian like hieroglyphs or whatever, and because
Hieroglyphics.
yeah, because like Memphis is a place in Egypt, so like I kind of like that they did that, but like I'm not mad at you guys said D. I'm just me personally. I would have probably put it high C, low B. Because, like, at least they tried to do something different, you know? Like, the gold I like the way the gold looks on the numbers. I really like the hieroglyphics. Like, I don't know.
Maybe if they added a gold trim, I would probably rate it at least a C.
Yeah, I think
it's just like some regular trim, you know?
it's kind of like the Trailblazers, how, like, they didn't give enough of what they were, like, going for. Like, yeah, I agree. That's like for me, if there was a gold trim, it would be an A, because like the gold against the black would like look fire. But yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at D.
Also, it hurts it being such a step down from last year's. Last year's was probably the best.
And it's like we can't just magically forget last year, you know? like I know it's unfair to compare the years, but like last year was like one of the best ones they did.
Probably ever. Like
yeah.
Like so, 10, 20 years down the line, I'll probably cop that jersey, bro. Like
that jersey would be like thousands, bro.
Literally.
Yeah.
They could have like done the same design and just maybe a different color, like maybe like the Memphis Grizzlies blue instead of black. They probably would have sold crazy.
Yeah,
but we're stuck with this.
Or maybe bring back the Big Bear.
Yeah, something like, bruh.
yeah. All right, Vaughn, you have the Hawks.
Bargain bin.
Oh,
crazy! You have the city of Atlanta and you do ATL in lowercase font. I'm sorry, Atlanta. I didn't know Nike thought you were this boring of a city.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's kind of like them clit jerseys. So
yeah,
I'll probably have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, the only nice thing about it is the blue trim, and like that's it. Like, and the blue trim isn't even that nice. I'm at the green bargain bin. It's kind of sad reading the meaning behind these jerseys, because it like shows like, okay, they really didn't care. Like the ATL in lowercase shows familiarity and Southern hospitality. How do you get lowercase letters from Southern hospitality? Where is the connection, bro?
And like, bro, what does the blue represent?
It's it pays homage to the 1968 uniform.
Okay, see, like, bro, they could have done something with the peach, bro. You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's, I don't know. They didn't even put a hawk on there. like
Anything.
nothing.
And you know what's crazy is that like the 1968 like Hawks uniform is like a light baby blue. It's not even like that blue. It's like it's not the right blue.
Use the wrong color palette.
It's like when I'm looking at the 1968 uniforms and it's like all baby blue. So like I don't get it. And also the brown signifies style, richness, and diversity. Like I don't know. I don't get it. I have the Heat. Bargain bin.
Thank you.
Bargain bin. We get it. Heat culture is a thing, but you do not need to put it on a jersey, bro. That just makes it corny. It's like if Memphis during the grit and grind days put grit and grind on a jersey, bro. Like it's just not good. Like I don't know. Bargain bin all the way.
It doesn't help that culture is like twice the size of the Heat logo. That
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense to me. I agree, bargain bin.
I'm going to create a new tier, purgatory. These jerseys should have never released or should have never even reached the sewing machine. They shouldn't have left someone's mind when they drew it in concept. These are absolutely the worst NBA jerseys, maybe even the worst jersey I've ever seen in my entire life. I hate them. Hate them. They are absolute dog water, bro. They
There are like
atrocious.
pennies or practice jerseys that look way better than this. It's insane.
Literally. My high school basketball pennies looked better than these, bro.
No, it's literally, and it's like, not only did they have the audacity to put Heat culture on a jersey, but like that's all they did. It's just a black jersey that says Heat culture. They didn't even try to do anything with it. It's like no, there's no like. The trim is just red and like red. The culture has like some cracks in it, but not really. Like it's
And you
just
know what's
like
crazy? They still have those two-tone jerseys they have,
yeah,
and they still have those magazine cutout jerseys they have.
yeah.
These are the worst jerseys anyone has ever created.
I don't know, bro. It's just like I'm pretty sure Heat culture shirts look better than this jersey.
Maybe a shirt. Yeah, maybe a
Yeah.
shirt I would like, not a jersey. Absolutely not.
All right. Eugene, you have Hornets, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah, he does.
Hold on. Let me see up close real quick. They don't look any different than their normal jerseys. The Mr. Beast logo is kind of cool though. I'm gonna say C. Like they don't look any different than their regular jerseys.
Yeah, I'd say C, but it's kind of sad that the highlight is the Mr. Beast logo.
I might say B. I mean, I am saying B. It doesn't matter, so I'm gonna say B. I like the way it looks. It's a little different what they usually do. I'm not mad at C. It's another one of those things where like a bunch of things like they're so close away from an A. Like if they did more of the gold, that would
Gold?
probably make it A.
Yeah, gold, like a gold, probably gold font.
Yeah, like if the font was gold and that side pattern instead of that weird,
Oh,
because it's like a different blue. Like if that was
Yeah.
just gold instead of a second blue, like that would probably make it an A.
They
But,
do
like-
look good though. Like
Yeah.
I'm not mad at like they don't make me angry to look at.
No, not like the Heat culture.
No, definitely not.
But like, yeah,
No.
I would say B, but like, I'm not mad at C. It blends in perfectly with the Milwaukee and the Trailblazers.
If I was
Cool.
a Hornets fan, I would buy a jersey.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the gold. If they did add that, like maybe there'd be an homage to like Larry Johnson, the gold
Mhm.
teeth and everything. That would have gone so hard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Like the gold would make it an A.
yeah,
Vaughn, you have the Jazz.
see, this one's like almost a throwback, but like kind of a modern throwback. So I
Mhm.
kind of like that. But at the same time, I still think the original throwback they've done in years past with the purple and the actual mountains rather than the simplified mountains, like on this one, still
Mhm.
looks better. But I'd put it in B.
Yeah.
I'm tremendously biased towards Jazz jerseys and purple, so I'm gonna say A. um, I would cop that any day of the week. I like the mountain. I like the font. I like the number. I haven't seen the names, but I just think this is overall a great jersey. Is their secondary color white or is it black?
What
Like
do you mean?
if they were to wear an undershirt, would it be white or black?
I don't know. I haven't seen them play in it, so I
I
don't
wanna
know.
Yeah,
I wanna
I
see them
don't
play
know.
in it. But yeah, I'm gonna put that as an A.
Um, See, this is what I said. If I like, this is my only A. But looking at other jerseys, I like. Yeah, it's this is my only A. I like it a lot. It will low key be sold out if there was like a gradient. Like if the mountains
Mm,
kind of had like a gradient to them, and like instead of the white just being only the mountains, if like the white kind of went downwards, like down the torso,
mhm.
that would be sold out in my opinion. I will say though, this is the best jersey out of all the line, out of the entire lineup, because they actually tried to do something. They tried to modernize the old Jazz uniform, and they did a good job. Like
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie.
Is the Jazz's best jersey since their rebrand, just like by default? Because
Yeah, well, no facts. Facts.
so so I can't argue with it being an A. I'm not mad about that at all.
All right, I have the Kings. Um, See, this is hard for me because I really wanted to say A with this, but I don't know if that's my Kings bias. I'm gonna say A just because, like, why not? Um, it grew on me as I looked at the jerseys. And like, I don't know. I like what they did. I like the different colors. I like the Kings going down with the white. I like the history behind it and the meaning behind it. So I'm gonna say A.
I'll say this: what I do like is that it's paying homage to the Royals, right? Their
Yeah,
old team. Yeah. So it's like another modern take on a retro jersey, but it's just so plain, you know. Like there's so many ways you could have like reinterpreted that, and it's kind of just the easiest thing you could have done. So I would put it in C.
Okay, well that's great because I was gonna put it in B. I didn't know any of the meaning like behind it. Like I haven't seen anything about it,
Mm.
but I figured they were trying to do kind of what the Jazz was doing, like a modern throwback kind of thing. I feel like a logo would have made it just a little bit better. But it doesn't
Yeah,
really do anything for me.
it's another one of those jerseys where like it could be sold out because the
Mhm.
lion logo underneath the 13 would go hard.
Right. Or even just like a big ass, I feel like a big ass crown, um, kind of like popping out from like the Kings, like an
Mhm.
outline or something,
Yeah,
like in the background. I feel like that would be cool, but I don't know.
I'm not mad at B. I originally I didn't even think I was gonna put it in A, but the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. So, all right, Eugene, you have the Knicks. How did you get the Knicks?
Okay, so like off rip, like when I first saw them, they weren't, to me, they didn't look that bad. But it's like the more I look at them, it's kind of like, eh. At first, I would have put them at B. But, you know, do I need 3D glasses? You know? So, like, I need to see them in, like, in not in person, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
players wear them or whatever in game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say C, but if y'all rate it lower, I'm not going to be mad.
I personally would put it in D because it's such an obvious thing they could have fixed, and it just bothers me so much. Like it has like pinstripe on it, doesn't it? And I
Yeah.
love pinstripe. But that with their court in combination looks terrible. That 3D New York is just not doing it any favors. And it was so close to being so good. I would put it in D, but if you agree on C, or I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I'm agree with C. Just cause like at least like it's like it's a nice jersey. Like it's not like atrocious. I like the pinstripes. I like the color blue. I think it's another one of those things where like the Knicks tried to do too much, or like they try to combine like the 90s and the 2000s. So I don't know why they keep doing stuff like that, but
That's
I mean,
true, because that's the mellow number, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they did that, but like
What is the story about the New York white and orange font being like that? Like, because what I get from that is like you're coming home from the bar, New York nightlife.
okay,
You're drunk as hell. You're
you want me?
stumbling.
I'll read word for word what they said because I wrote it down and simplified it, but I'll read word for word what they said.
Okay.
The New York woodmark is layered twice on top as a nod to the iconic saying, "The city's so nice, they named it twice."
Okay, see, that's super corny. Like the way they worded it is like super corny. They could have just said New York, New York. You know,
Yeah, like that's what
Yeah.
I wrote it down as. I wrote it down as New York, New York, because that sounds better than what they put.
right. Like that's what I figured, but I didn't know if that's what they were going
Yeah.
for or not.
Yeah, it's because it's New York, New York, which like just saying New York, New York, it clicks. It doesn't sound corny, but like they tried to like over explain it.
Right.
All right, Vaughn, you have LA.
I don't think looks terrible, but the fact that Angeles, like the A in Angeles, doesn't start with the rest of the word kind of bothers me. I put this in C. This one I can't tell by the picture. This one, does this one have pinstripe as well?
No.
No,
No.
it's just straight black.
Okay. Well, it does remind me of those pinstripe ones they did before, and I like those ones. So I think that's the purple gold with the main color black. I like that. But aside from the Los Angeles lettering, I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about these jerseys. They look cool on the players because basically like the whole jersey is black.
Mhm.
But it's just I don't know. I'll say C. I'm just super indifferent.
Yeah, I'm also saying C because I'm like literally the same reason why as Eugene. Like I'm so indifferent to it. Like every time I look at it, I have a different feeling about it.
Right.
Like it's just so hard because like the colors work well.
Mm,
Like it's one of the few ones where like the outline and the little purple actually works.
mm.
But like, yeah, it's just like I like the fact that the Lakers is underneath the numbers. it's the Los Angeles like triangle that like is like I don't know if I hate it. I don't know if I like it.
It
So,
just it throws me off so much.
yeah. All right. I have Orlando. It's I'm gonna say D. I don't like gray uniforms. I also just like the pinstripes because it's gray is just so unnoticeable. Though I will say the only reason why I won't say bargain bin is because I like the star and I like the font of the numbers. Like the font for the numbers is low key fire, but everything else I low key don't like.
Is it gray or is it blue? Like a really weird blue.
It's gray because it's supposed to be. They're doing the armor thing again.
Okay, let me see. You can answer, Vaughn.
Okay. I would put these in bargain bin only because your pinstripe Orlando just do throwbacks. Like this is like maybe another modern reiteration of past jerseys, but this is the weakest one if that's the case. Gray as an armor, like that's not for me. For Orlando, come on.
Yeah, especially with the Disney sitting right there, bro. Blue was the most obvious choice they could go with.
Yeah.
You know. It's at least a D. I don't think it's any higher than that. I do like the star though. The star is cool. The font's cool. Even the pinstripes are cool. But blue. If the jersey itself was blue, that for me would be like a B.
Yeah.
I'll stick with D.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's also so funny. I mean, protecting the kingdom, bro. You're like one of the worst teams in the league. maybe not do something that kind of coincides with winning.
Right.
All right, Eugene, you have the Mavs.
It's another basic one. I can't even like describe it. It's just the font is different. They have a silver Nike logo, blue trim. I will say, where did we put Chicago bargain bin. I'll say D.
D.
I'll say D. It's too basic.
I wouldn't be afraid to put this in bargain bin only because after this year, no one will remember this jersey. It's forgotten in the winds of time. Like no one's gonna be like, oh, remember those jerseys from 2023, 2024? No. This is a nothing jersey for me.
Yeah.
I think hold on. I didn't see their court. What does their court look like?
Oh,
I honestly don't know.
I think the only reason they might look this basic is because their court looks crazy.
Let me see.
Their promos, though, I'm not gonna lie, were kind of hard. Like the player promos, or whatever, they were kind of hard. They didn't post their court. Oh yeah, they did. Oh, it's all gray.
Oh really?
It's all gray. Even like the strip is like a different color gray. I'm gonna say C, only because the jerseys are gonna pop on that court.
I'll stick with D. It's like at least they're trying to do something different. I just gotta say, I don't know where we ranked them for our like franchise tier list. I think Mavs have some of the worst jerseys of all time, bro.
Yeah, we ranked them pretty low. I remember that.
They just don't do anything. Crazy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep them in C. D. I know Vaughn said bargain bin. So, yeah, it's just like that's like the only reaction is eh. All right, Vaughn, you have the Nets.
I would put this in D because something was attempted, but this looks like a kid's coloring book.
Yeah, I'm going bargain bin.
Yo,
I would never cop these a day in my life.
No,
I
no.
feel like they tried to do a different version of the Basquiat ones, but it didn't go well. I don't know. They just don't look good to me.
yeah, I'm gonna keep them in D because I feel like they tried to do something. It just didn't work out. I feel like it's just like I feel like if it wasn't gray, it would be kind of better. Like if they embraced the whole like color thing and like made the whole jersey have some color to it, it would be fire. But yeah, those are not good.
I think if they had a pattern, it would look better to me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch my answer to bargain bin only because my one reason was they attempted, but like it's trash. Like I'm doing Nike no favors by saying this is better than what it is.
All right, down the bargain bin. Let's add another one in there. The Nuggets jersey bargain bin. That shit is garbage, bro. And these released like not too long ago, and so I was talking to Vaughn about them. When Nuggets fans hate them, that's how you know they're bad. Nuggets fans love whatever the Nuggets do, but like the fact that so many Nuggets fans hate these, it shows you how bad they truly are. I just hate everything about them.
How could anyone argue this is anything better than bargain bin?
Right, like what's understood doesn't need to be said.
Yeah, moving on, bro. Like, and you know what's crazy? The numbers is also on the court.
Yeah.
Like, we get it, bro. We're high.
We're way up there.
All right, Vaughn, you have the Vaughn, not Vaughn. Eugene, you have the Pacers.
Yeah. Again, I feel like it's kind of one of those like concept ones, when you're talking in the idea session, it looks cool. Do you have the meaning for the trim? Like why it look like that? Why like the Thanos snap? Why it look like that?
It's supposed to show it's like graffiti and street art, and it shows the community as vibrant and colorful. Like that's all it is. It's supposed to represent like street art and graffiti.
In Indiana?
Okay, I mean, I can see that, I guess, because they do. Again, when I was watching that Pacers game, they had recently done like a mural of like Reggie Miller. They had recently like unveiled a mural. It was kind of cool, but I can see that. But like, I don't think I'm buying this, even if I'm a Pacers fan. I'm gonna have to say, I want to say C, but I'm gonna say D.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with D. The graffiti thing, they just did it so poorly. Like it's just a paint splatter on the side. Like they could have like done more with it. It's not like atrocious. The colors are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just feel like they could have done way more with the whole graffiti thing if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I agree with D. I'm not jealous of the job they got in Indianapolis to make a jersey look cool. It's like, how do you make a city jersey for Indianapolis? that's kind of tough.
Just before we move on, I just feel like a lot of these jerseys, even the ones that we haven't done, are just missing a picture of some sort. I feel like a picture would change a lot of these rankings, or maybe not. They might get worse, but
I also there's so much black and gray.
yeah, that's true too.
Like
Yeah, that's true.
I noticed that. Like, why is there so much black and gray? Yeah, I agree with you, Eugene. I think we mentioned so many times how like we want a logo of some sort. Like I totally agree with that. Like a lot of these would be so much better if like the Kings had the lion, or if the Hawks had the hawk. Yeah.
Or even a peach, bro. Like,
yeah, anything. Literally. Also, I had to turn my light on because I forgot it's fall in Denver, so that means it's dark at 5 p.m. All right, Vaughn, you have the Pelicans.
Okay. So the green and it was that purple. That's supposed to be Mardi Gras, right? Mardi Gras. I like that idea. And I know the picture is kind of small, but even seeing the jerseys like on my phone and stuff, it's kind of hard to tell, or kind of hard to see the NOLA. That's the irritating part. And I think if you're going to do Mardi Gras, you might as well go all out. And just doing the colors isn't enough for me, so I'd put this in D. It's just another one of those black and gray jerseys among this group.
Yeah, I mean, I won't really argue it. When I first saw them on Instagram, like the player promos or whatever, they made them look super dope. But they also kind of like remind me of like a Halloween jersey almost, you know? But yeah, and the colors are cool. The font is cool, but I feel like they always use that font.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue D.
Yeah, I'm also not gonna argue the NOLA thing. Like they do it all the time. It's like I get it. They kind of have no choice. Yeah, I like the font too. It's supposed to be skeleton, like a skeleton-like thing. I think it would have been so much cooler if it was more disconnected. Like, if they use more of like the skeletal like bones and guess to make up like the lettering. But it's just kind of like you know. All right, Detroit. Who has Detroit? I'm only putting this bargain bin because it's supposed to be a nod to the bad boy Pistons, and the way they did that was with a basketball as a skull and crossbones down the side.
Which like we can't tell from this picture.
Yeah, and you also can't really tell because they're small and gray. It's just like it's just bad. I don't know. And like I don't know. I just don't like it.
Okay, well, I was gonna rank it a B, but since we can only rank up one, I'll go D. I like the way it looks, but I didn't know what any of it meant.
I think knowing what it was supposed to like mean makes it worse for me. I'd put it in D.
That's fair.
Like there's so many possibilities you could have done for Bad Boys Pistons, and you made them again look boring.
Yeah, I also think the basketball with the like as the skull and crossbones, like that's so corny. Like that's something like a 12-year-old would do in my team. Like, you know, like it's just like so boring. All right, Eugene, you have Toronto.
I mean, okay. Let's start off with the cons first. Now, yes, they did the gold. Yes, it looks kind of basic, more or less. But I do like I guess the lightning strike, for lack of a better term, like the pinstripe idea they have going on. The trim looks cool because they did it for the trim as well. It's pretty simple. They have the We the North down there above the NBA tag. I like it. I'm gonna say A, but I don't think the Raptors really ever miss on their jerseys as well. So that might be kind of biased too, but yeah, I'm gonna say A.
What does the lightning pinstripe mean to
Um, literally nothing. Literally nothing.
Hey, it's better to not mean anything than have some dumbass meanings, though.
Like literally nothing.
So I think it would be better without the lightning, because I don't think Toronto and lightning go hand in hand. And if they're going to do another Drake gold and black OVO, they've done better ones, with white as a primary color, black as a primary color. And I think of those ones, this is the weakest ones. I would put this in C. Maybe it's a bias speaking from those Washington Wizards gold jerseys, all gold. Maybe it just doesn't work for me like that.
Mhm.
I don't know, but I'd put it in C.
I might actually keep them in A because so originally they were a B for me, but then as I looked at them more and read the meaning, they have We the North in multiple languages down like the side. And I like that. I like that touch. So I'm actually gonna agree with Eugene and have an A. Like I'm actually surprised that I'm saying that because at first I thought they were a B, but I really like the meaning. I will have to say though, it's kind of funny that the lightning pinstripes mean nothing. But like I don't know. I think they don't add or take away. So
Right.
I think A is fine.
I will say though, I do agree with you, Vaughn, that they are the weakest gold jerseys that they've had. So far.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I think
I agree with that.
for a city like Toronto, it's basically Canada's basketball team. They could do a lot more besides rehashing the same gold, white, black team. Like even if it was a homage to the Raptors' old jerseys, the Vince Carter ones, the actual Raptor on them, just something new is what I need.
Or even
Like-
the needle. Like they could do something with the needle because they've never done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, true. Or like do what other teams do and bounce off of like other sports teams. Like Toronto has like the Blue Jays, the Leafs, and their colors are like a light blue. Like bring out some light blue. Like that would be hard. All right. Vaughn, you have H-Town.
All right, this doesn't look horrible to me in any way, but it's just very simple. So I would put it in C. I do like the red. I think they did look better, like seeing it on the players as opposed to just like a blank slate. I haven't seen their courts, but I don't think this looks bad and nothing too great either. So C is right where I put it.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say the same thing. I feel like, obviously they're just trying to play off the whole Houston thing or whatever. Honestly, I think their regular jerseys do look a little bit better, but yeah, I just need to see them on players and as well as on the court. Their court looks super dope though. They literally have an astronaut dunking as the logo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why didn't they do that for their jersey then? Damn.
Right.
Oh, that is
Their court might be the best one. But yeah, the jerseys only, I'll stick with a C.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with C. It's just like it's nothing spectacular. It's not like bad. Yeah. All right. I have Philly. I feel like so this one is kind of misleading because I can't tell if it's black or dark blue.
The picture that I'm looking at, I feel like is like a super dark blue.
Okay, because like I'm gonna go D. I the City of Brotherly Love thing, like they've done it before. I do like what they did with the numbers. Like I think the numbers are kind of sick. I think my mind would change if I saw them on a player, because like I can't really tell. Like it looks dark blue, but like how dark blue is it? Like is it like, you know what I'm saying?
So I guess they recently just played in them.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to describe it, but like it's so you know the Sixer, like the six and the Sixers logo,
Uh-huh.
it's darker than that. Like it's pretty dark. It's darker than their normal jerseys.
Mm,
I don't know
yeah.
what color you would say, but like it's a pretty dark blue.
Okay.
They don't look bad on the players though. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll move it up to C then, but like I'll hear what you guys have to say.
Their court is dog awful though. Oh my god. Yo. They did a red court, bro.
Oh,
Oh, why?
I don't know. You can answer
for me,
that
this is a D. I didn't like them last year. I don't like them this year. They look better in white, I think, and now it's just kind of even harder to see with like the dark blue. Like City of Brotherly Love is hardly distinguishable on that jersey.
Yeah.
The same thing last year is the same thing this year. It's like way too small to read. I just don't love it.
Yeah, I'll say D as well. They're just again, I feel like it's too basic. They fall under those lines for me. We've also seen it, as Vaughn mentioned in the past. I feel like they could do something else. I feel like again, first of all, another black jersey. Second of all, no logo. I feel like they can do something with the bell. They did have it on their shorts. Again, the shorts are cool. The jersey, not so much. But yeah, I don't know. It's too basic for me.
Yeah. I mean, they also have like these two like weird like flag things coming out of the side. Like that would be dope if that was like all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find out why it's only two, but I just can't. So I don't know why they only have two, but like I feel like that would be dope all the way down. I'm not mad at D. That's what I said originally. It's just like it fits in so well with the other D's. All right, Eugene, you have the Warriors.
You mean San Antonio?
Oh, San Antonio. That's right. Sorry, I get them mixed up all the time.
Probably another D, not quite bargain bin, but this is way too simple. I feel like them and Boston kind of match up along the same lines, jersey wise. The colors are cool. I like the orange trim. It's kind of new and different for the Spurs. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of on some like remember the Alamo kind of thing.
Is that the story behind this one? Like this is a pretty different look for the Spurs.
Right.
So I'm wondering what it's all about.
It's actually based off the 1968 World Fair.
What? The World Fair?
Yeah, 1968 World Fair that was in San Antonio.
What does that even mean, bruh?
You know, like a World Fair. Do you know, like, you know how like it's just like a convention of like a bunch of cultures just representing their culture?
No, I've never heard of that before.
They don't do it anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dead thing. Also, I'm looking at the picture on the NBA site. and it looks like they made the number 8 into a letter 3 by just photoshopping a white block on it. It looks so weird. It's been throwing me off. Yeah, what'd you say, Eugene? D?
Yeah, D, yeah.
And Bond, did you say what you think?
Well, had a better story behind it, I would have thought it would have been refreshing for the Spurs to have a different jersey like this.
Mhm.
But it's very basic. I don't care about the World Fair, so D.
Yeah, I think this could be a sold out if they did so much more color. Like
Yeah.
that brown and sunburnt orange is so cool, and for the Spurs as well.
Hmm.
But like the font is nice. The like all of like I like the way the letters look. I like the way the font look. I like the colors that they chose. But it's the fact that they did it on white and did it as trim.
They have, so I'm looking at their court right now. They didn't even follow the layout of all of the other courts. Their court looks normal. Like it's a brown court. They painted the paint like orange. Obviously the outside is like a different color. And then they have like a bunch of like different words, whether it's San Antonio, Viva, was it Texas or something like that? Viva San Antonio, Viva Spurs.
Yeah, Viva Spurs.
They might have one of the best looking courts too.
Coach Pop must have seen all the other colorful courts and he said, "We're not doing that here."
Yeah, right? Like
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it would be so much nicer if they used more of that burnt orange.
mhm. Or even made the jersey burnt orange. See
Yeah.
how that turned out.
Yeah, like I just think going white with the trim is just like for once they almost did something different.
Hmm.
All right, Vaughn, you have the Suns.
If it just said like the Valley, or even just the Suns or anything, but L Valley, come on. Like L Heat wasn't cool then, wasn't cool now. And like I don't mind the colors that it has or the font. It's just that one big hang up. I'd put it in C.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in a rock and a hard place, Angel. I'm gonna say A. I wanted to say B, but I only wanted to put the pressure on you. I'm gonna say A only because I feel like they probably took the most time, or one of the teams that took the most time to actually like create a good jersey. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's more or less a modern throwback, kind of, sort of, but they're the only team that has an ombre colored logo, or not logo, sorry, number. The trim is fire. It's literally just fire. It looks kind of cool. They got the Phoenix Suns over the NBA whatchamacallit ID thing. Again, I'm a sucker for purple, so I like purple jerseys as it is. And even like the orange outline looks cool to me. So I'm gonna say A. I would buy this jersey. Yeah.
I'm gonna say B. I would have said A if the trim was the whole jersey. If the trim was the whole jersey, that would have been hard as fuck.
Like which part?
Not the trim, the side pattern, the side pattern.
Oh, like the shorts too?
Well, maybe not the shorts. I don't know. I don't really look at the whole uniform, so I don't know how the shorts look.
I'm just confused. Like, what do you mean the whole jersey?
Like, you know how it's like the orange to purple?
Uh-huh.
If that was like the entire jersey was going orange to purple.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like the number too. Like the number goes well, the number is just all orange, but like
right.
If it was like that for the whole jersey, that would have been so fire, because
like the sunrise or whatever.
Yeah, like a sunrise, because it's supposed to be based off of like low riders. and like lowriders always have that gradient. Like it's not a solid color.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would have said A or even sold out if it was that, but like I just also hate L Valley. That's another reason why I'm not saying A. It's just so lame, bro. It's just like you could do so much more with Spanish. Like it's almost Los Suns. Like that's how like it feels to me. Los Suns. So I just I don't really like El Valley, but like it's a nice jersey. It could have been better for sure. All right, I have the Thunder. Oh man, the pattern is awful. I was looking at the pattern. I'm gonna say C. I wanted to say D, but like I like the colors. I'm not gonna lie, I like the colors. It's just a pattern. The pattern is god awful.
I think if I were teaching Photoshop to like high school students, this would be an A. But these are professional designers, and they just plastered a logo gray on gray. For this is a bargain bin for me.
Jeez, bro.
Damn.
All right. Well, I watched them play in these jerseys against the Warriors. That was actually a really good game. But because like you can't really tell, probably even in person as well, that it's like it's a bunch of logos or whatever.
Yeah.
So it really just looks like a gray jersey. We'll put C because if I rank it any higher, it has to go C anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the colors. I like the way it looks. It doesn't clash with the court at all because the court's blue. I feel like it's if you were to not have any blue on a OKC jersey, this is the way it's supposed to look.
Yeah.
So what I really wanted to rate it was a B, but
I would have said B. I would have said B if it wasn't for that pattern. That pattern is atrocious, bro. It's just like I would have said D if it wasn't for the colors. The colors fix it. The colors really do save it.
mm-hmm.
Bargain bin. That's kind of. I mean, I see bargain bin. I see why you said bargain bin. I'm not gonna lie. All right, Eugene. You have San Francisco.
Where did we put the Lakers?
Lakers is sitting at C.
I'm gonna say D. Like I'm indifferent about the Lakers, but San Francisco, because my roommate is a Warriors fan, and he was saying, because I was like, why did they put the font like that? It just looked like someone fucked up in the manufacturing, warehouse or whatever. And he was like, it's supposed to represent the
cable cars.
Yeah. I'm like, no. Like, that's not what I get whatsoever. So yeah, I think that whole meaning is just ass. So I'm putting D.
Well, cars. Yeah. If that's what it's supposed to be, that's pretty weak. Like, even if you do want it to signify that, it doesn't come across that at all. I'd probably put in D as well.
And I feel like, too, it goes along with what you said, Vaughn, about the Mavs. We're going to forget about this next year. Like,
yeah,
nobody's going to remember this jersey.
Yeah.
So
I'm not mad at D. I would have said C, but like, yeah, D makes sense. I just don't like the colors they chose as well. Like, I don't think black and yellow for San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I feel like they could have done a lot more with the cable cars because the cable cars are like, they're like a rust red. But like, if they wanted to signify the cable cars, they could have done the, I don't know, the actual color of a cable car. Like,
Right.
you know, like it's just like no one knows that that's supposed to be like the sign for a cable car. You know?
Right. I feel like they need to do some more with like blue. Like they don't do anything with blue, you know?
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's just like the black and yellow just doesn't really like. It just looks weird for San Francisco.
I also haven't seen their court, but
It's a step
I
up
don't
though
know.
from last year. Last year was atrocious. So, all right, Vaughn, you have the Wizards.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, you have the Wizards.
Oh, the Wizards easy bargain bin. Like, what about this is Washington D.C. exactly? Like, they've never used that shade of blue. They never used that shade of red or orange. I know the picture's small on the screen right here, but what is going on with the font? And it's another gray black jersey. I have no forgiveness for this jersey now. So I'm putting in bargain bin.
This is right there with Heat culture.
Yeah, yeah,
These colors, god awful.
yeah.
The font, I like the font. I guess I don't know what it's supposed to exactly represent, but I kind of like the medieval,
Yeah.
Victorian font or whatever. It's cool, but them colors are terrible. How Vaughn views those gold Wizards jerseys, that's how I view this jersey. That's exactly how I view this jersey. Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, the font is supposed to be off the 1700s. I'm sorry, but like the trim, it literally looks like it's rusty. I don't want a jersey that looks like it's covered in rust. The thin red stripe symbolizing the separation, like no, bro. It's god awful. The colors just don't work together. The font is a huge waste. Like, that's a cool font for the atrocious colors they used it with. I think when you said Heat Culture was the worst jersey of all time, that's what I think about this jersey. This is literally the worst jersey of all time, bro. Like,
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
like the colors just like it's hurting my eyes, bro. It's hurting my eyes.
I want to see when the Wizards play with this jersey, like genuinely, just to see how it looks. But like, that's probably not going to save it anyway.
Yeah, because they played at Miami when they did their in-season tournament. So I want to see what they look like on the court, because the court is like gray, right?
Let me see. I'm not sure.
How funny would it be if Jordan Poole had a 50-point legacy game in those jerseys? Just
Those be his
immortalizing
favorite
them.
jerseys. But I will give props to the Wizards. They did need a miss after these past few years because they've had some pretty fire jerseys, in my opinion.
True.
City jerseys.
True. They are one of the stronger ones.
Right.
All right. Last one. I have Minnesota. I'm gonna say B. I wanted to say A when I first saw them, but like they kind of did the opposite of Toronto and the Kings, where they grew on me. They kind of died down on me. I like them. I like they're nice jerseys. Like, they're not like awful, but they're also not amazing.
Way better than last year's.
For sure.
Me personally, I'm putting this at A. I literally would legitimately go out and buy this jersey. Because I like the ombre, like when teams do the ombre, so that's why I like the Suns ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's like I feel like it represents not necessarily Timberwolves, but Minnesota as the city, When you think Minnesota, you think cold, you think ice, you think snow, and I feel like that's what that gives off.
I got it in B as well. So last year's Warriors jersey had that flower that kind of faded and is ridiculous because like it had no place being there. But this is kind of like that effect done right because it actually
Yeah.
does fade from blue to white.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
like a transition between the two, so it works here. Uh, don't love it like I do the Jazz jersey, so that's kind of just why I don't have it quite in
mm. All right. So the real question is, I feel like we really agreed on a lot of them, but I feel like I have to ask: would you move anything up or down?
Boston down.
I would move OKC down.
Where's OKC?
Uh,
See,
I don't think there's any I'd move up.
Yeah, no.
yeah, and it pains me to say too, because I like Utah would be the only one I would put in sold out, but like only out of like just to have something there. like that's the only reason why I would move it up.
I mean, my top, I guess, 4 jerseys, not in this specific order, but I would say Utah, Toronto, Suns, and Timberwolves. Those are probably my favorites out of all 30 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even Milwaukee. I wouldn't buy it, but like it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with our list, to be honest.
Yeah. I
Maybe maybe even Memphis move down. But yeah, those would be the only 2.
yeah. I think I wouldn't move anything down, to be honest. What about you, Vaughn? Would you move Boston or Memphis down?
Oh, not really those two. OKC is the one. The only one I care to move down, really.
Would you move OKC down, Eugene?
No, no, only because I've seen them.
Okay.
I don't think they look that bad.
Okay. Yeah, I also wouldn't. I wouldn't move any of those down just because, like, I don't really hate them. And then we said nothing's moving up.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there it is. No sold out this year. We have 2A and 4B. So that should say a lot about this year. So I gotta ask. Let me stop sharing the screen so like we can like make a clip out of this. I gotta ask: should Nike keep doing city jerseys?
No. We needed well, okay, so I know the NBA, they have contracts with these companies for X amount of years. I think it's like 10 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've had them for 7. So unless they make a major change within these next 3 years, they need to get dropped expeditiously. Like Nike and even Reebok made better jerseys way back when, or not Nike, sorry. Adidas and Reebok made way better jerseys way back when than Nike has now.
Yeah.
So if Nike doesn't get dropped, they need to make the best jerseys they've ever made these next 3 or however many more years they got.
Moving forward, the Nike's clearly run out of ideas for city jerseys. They have weak reasoning tying them to these cities or to arenas and just the teams in general. If they're gonna keep doing like a new jersey every year, I'd kind of want to see like a player jersey, like playing homage to like Allen Iverson or Tracy McGrady, something along those lines. I wouldn't be mad if Nike got replaced by someone else, just based on how things are going right now. But I bring up like a player jersey, but like they'd probably be 1 year of good player jerseys, and then the year after it just gets weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
So I can't even trust them to like hang on to quality. So
Or maybe like, I don't know if this would necessarily be possible, but like get like a fashion designer to like help design these jerseys for each team, Like I feel like that would go crazy too.
Yeah. I feel like I kind of agree with you guys. No more city jerseys. 7 years in a row. Like that's crazy. That's insane. And like a lot of people are pointing out how the baseball city jerseys are so good looking. That's because this is their only like third year of doing it.
Mhm.
Like go back to the first 3 years. Those first 3 years were bangers. So of course like the baseball
Even then, they don't drop a new one for all the teams all at once, right? Like 1 year they'll have these
yeah,
teams will get one.
it's like 3
Next year,
years split up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like city jerseys are done for. Like, please. And like of course they could bring it back next year and do nothing but bangers. But like I highly doubt that the 8th year is gonna be like a good year.
Right.
I'm kind of with you guys. Do something different. I think if you're gonna keep only having them in for the in-season tournament, do like retro court and retro jerseys. Like that would be hard if every team had a retro court and a retro jersey, because then we can see like I don't know, a 1980s Lakers go against like the 2000s 76ers on the Sixers court. Like that would look fire.
That would actually be pretty dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like do retro court and jerseys if you want to kind of combine them in the in-season tournament, or even like the Christmas jerseys were just a color and the logo.
Mhm.
That would be dope. I think Nike is such a wanted company for a sports jersey, but like right now, they've been doing basketball so dirty. Like get Adidas in there. NHL is having starter make them jerseys. Like imagine that the NBA had starter jerseys again. That would be so fire. Like the old school 90s jerseys look, but like I don't know. I think it's getting like worse and worse. Like the rebrandings are getting worse. Like I don't know. I'm just not a fan of what they're doing.
Mhm.
All right.
Hopefully, just one more thing. Hopefully, by the time we see an expansion team, we get a new contract.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it just sucks. It's because like the city jerseys is like the only thing bringing down Nike. Like, you know. So who knows? Maybe these last 3 years they drop city jerseys and like do one of the things we said.
even like in the future for those expansion teams, it's worrying based off like the Jazz's redo of their franchise jerseys.
Yeah.
Like, are we to expect like Las Vegas get some really dull, simple jerseys where like that's a pretty active city
Mhm.
with a pretty long history and reputation? Is it
Yeah.
just gonna be red font, white font, or whatever? So that's just the worrying part
Yeah, I
of
agree.
that.
Yeah, because are we gonna get a Suns rebrand or are we gonna get a Jazz rebrand? Like, you know, like it's just like it's so up in the air. But all right, that is our tier list, and that's our thoughts on Nike and the city jerseys. Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you are listening on to the audio version, we are on all podcast platforms, so make sure you rate and review us there. Leave us a good old 5 stars. We are on YouTube for video format, so make sure you like and subscribe there. We're also on all social media platforms at Spin the Rock. Make sure you check us out there for clips and episode updates. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week.